Well, we're back again. What's up, guys? Spec here. Welcome back to another video. So in the last video, I reacted to Cody Bond's speculation of the Master and the Monster DLC, talking about, the what would be the new things for the Dark Elves and the new legendary character Rakarth the Beastmaster.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Today, we're going to react to Cody Bond's speculation video of the DLC again, but this time with the Beastmen. That's right, guys. And since I'm gonna watch a Beastmen video, I decided to wear a Mr. Beast shirt. Get it? Because this is a beast, and the video we're watching is about beasts. I think it's a corny joke. Anyway, let's just watch.
With only one DLC remaining before the release of Total War Warhammer 3, you're all wondering who will take that coveted last spot before we move on to the Chaos Wastes. I've already shown you my predictions for the Dark Elf half of the DLC I'm calling the Master and the Monster, but now let's take a look at the half that really needs some love, the Beastmen.
Yes!
In this video, I'll show you what Lord I think will star, what new mechanics we could see, and what potential new units could arrive. And because this is a speculation video, I'll even cover what options didn't make the cut and why.
I remember that meme video.
At this point, the Beastmen...
And before I continue watching this video, I just want to say that the Beastmen are one of my favorite factions in Total War Warhammer 2. I mean, when I first played it in the first game, my Warhammer 1, it was fun. But when it comes to game 2, it kind of feels bad. Because I die a lot of times as the Beastmen. And now, Creative Assembly has given them a second chance for their moment to shine and get a rework. Now let's just continue.
Are an albatross around the Creative Assembly's neck. Every time a new DLC releases,
Whoa,
there is a flood of comments
hey,
their sorry state of play. They're
like
terribly
in the meme
unpopular,
video.
but it's a question of the chicken and the egg. Whether they
Yeah.
sucked so they became the least played, or they're the least played because they were left to suck. But no
That is gonna
company
be the
wants to
goat
go into a
scream.
huge game release with less than absolute anticipation. So the time has come to banish the how many Charlemagne's meme back to Reddit hell.
Yep.
How, you may wonder, with a sweeping rework in the Wood Elves style.
Yeah.
But who will lead this last charge of the Light Furry Brigade? Taurox the Brass Bull, the Slaughterhorn, Blood Beast, and the Brazen One. He consistently tops every poll asking who you would like to see as the next Beastman Lord. Taurox is a huge minotaur with an insatiable bloodlust and metal-coated skin like the Silver Surfer from Marvel Comics.
Look at this
metal-covered monster was blessed by the
armor.
Chaos Gods after an especially bloody rampage.
Bloody
and now,
rampage?
his shiny epidermis makes him darn near impossible to kill as he wades into unsuspecting peasants with two demonically inscribed axes.
Wait, are you saying that the gods blessed him because he gets so much angry? Okay. And did he say he killed a lot of peasants? Look at this model. So awesome. Look at this big muscle. These two giant axes and his horns, dude.
Especially interesting as a lord, as he's never been given an official Games Workshop model on the tabletop.
Really?
And all the ones you see online are really kit bashes and homebrew imaginings. Yet still, Taurox was an official general option in the last edition of the Beastmen army.
So this guy was like left forgotten that he never gets a model. Everything else was just everything you see in this image is just kit bashing. That's so sad. Give some love for the Beastmen. Come on. And before I continue, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And also, subscribe to Cody Bonds too. And also, shout out to Mr. Beast!
As a one-bull slaughter machine, Taurox would be hard-hitting and a vicious melee combatant, barreling through anything in his path. And while he would be quick for an infantry unit, his speed wouldn't exactly be blinding, and he wouldn't get any mount options.
Yeah,
But
of course
that
he's a
wouldn't matter,
Minotaur. Like, can you imagine? A Minotaur mount. What would it be? A Gorgon, a Cygor, a Giant, or a Jabbaslith? No. He's too big. He's too heavy. Like, if he rides on something, it's crushed. His mouth turns into pancakes.
Interestingly, Taurox does have one weak point, a
What?
tiny soft spot on his throat that's not covered in metal that allowed him to be instantly killed on the tabletop by 2 lucky dice rolls. So I'll be curious how and if that gets worked in. For a mechanic, I could see him with a bloodlust bar. The Chaos
Bloodlust?
Gods demand constant sacrifices, and he's going to give it to them.
Oh, it's like giving him buffs. But it also reminds me of the what was it? The Blood Oath? Yeah, the Blood Oath mechanic of Penthesilea and Total War Saga Troy. Like, if you keep raising settlements, you will have a lot of buffs. Like, increase attacks, increase growth for your settlement to upgrade your beast, whatever the thing is, like a beast camp. Increase movement, which makes your beast faster, and increase campaign movement, like you can move even further if your blood thing increases. That's a good idea. I mean, if you remember Great Book of Grudges video of him talking about the Amazons in Total War Saga Troy, that could also work with the Beastmen.
So loot, kill, pillage, and generally desecrate your way to victory and be rewarded for it. Practically, it could either take the positive form, like Lu Bu's momentum mechanic from Three Kingdoms, that allows him to spend points to reset his army movement and provides buffs to himself and his army, or a negative mechanic like Swin Te, in that if Taurox doesn't live up to the Chaos God's expectations and spill enough blood, you get hit with increasing penalties and divine disappointment.
Yeah, that's true. It's like if you did not raise a settlement and you're just chilling in your camp, you get a negative buff. So you better continue raiding and destroying everything. That's the way of the Beastmen, people. You destroy things, makes the gods happy. Don't destroy it, gods spank you in your butt.
So you must keep chopping your way to stay at the top of the pile. For a gameplay style, Taurox would make everything hit harder with faction effects to damage and allow you to recruit cheaper and more effective Minotaur units.
True. Just like Imric, like he has discount with dragons and extra buffs for dragons and dragon princes. But instead of dragons and dragon princes, Taurox has like extra buffs for the Minotaurs, and he gets a discount for that.
I could talk about starting locations, but with Warhammer 3's combined map on the horizon, all of them would be subject to change anyway. So instead, let's talk about the legendary generals that didn't make the cut. If the original Beastmen Lord pack had included 4 lords, Gorthor the Beast Lord would have been one of them.
Look at this dude. Look at this belly. I'm like a fat beast lord. How much meat do you even eat?
Why you bullying me?
One of his major unique points was his chariot, which was given to Khazrak One-Eye instead, so he's not likely to appear here, as that was the one fun thing about him. Gorthor is a hybrid caster fighter lord with access to the Lore of Death.
Speaking of the Lore of Death, could you imagine Beastmen summoning the dead? Like, the Beastmen can summon zombies to their army? Or skeletons? That'd be really funny.
Speaking of which, Ungrul Forehorn. Does anyone really want another Gore Lord? I mean, he's a faster, scrappier version of Khazrak One-Eye with lower leadership and extra horns.
What the heck? This guy has a peg leg? This beast lord is a pirate! Yar! I'm the beast pirate! Yar! If you take me booty, I will make you the sacrifice for the gods! And whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! That guy has 2 heads? What? This is giving me ogre vibes from World of Warcraft.
Every faction has their sly trickster rogue cut from the Loki and Joker cloth, but I mean, we've already got 3 Billy Goats Gruff in the Beastmen roster, so I'll take a pass on
That's
Ungrul
true.
Forehorn. Slugtongue, the Famine Fiend, Lord of the Black Forest, is
Wow, look at
another
this skull
caster
helmet.
lord.
That's so cool.
This one focused on death, decay, and famine, which is cool, but his magic lord role is already taken by
This guy looks like a human. No, he's not. He's a
Morgor the
Beastman.
Shadowgave and
You can tell
Malagor
because he
the
has
Dark
hooves.
Omen. It might be interesting to see him as a unique hero, but he
Yeah,
really
right here.
feels
You can
too
see that
samey
he has
to
hooves.
justify making him the headliner of this roster. And finally, Moonclaw, who you
Moonclaw.
all voted as
The
the lord
lunatic
you'd most like to
prince.
see as a
Prince,
legendary
the
hero,
lunatic prince.
and I completely agree with you. The lunatic prince and child of the Gravid Orb. He is
Whoa.
literally not of this world.
Look at him. He's doing the T-pose. Everybody gangsta till this guy does the T-pose.
And shot out of the green moon Morschleb to land on Earth and wreak havoc.
What if Moonclaw was a time traveler from the future? Like, he's a 40k beastman, and he travel all the way to fantasy and tell everybody that he was born from the moon. No, that's a stupid conspiracy. That's a stupid conspiracy. That is not true. It's fantasy. Don't compare 40k, Space Knight. Because it's different. It's a different universe.
The description seems to be a walking goatman skeleton that's always on fire like the Ghost Rider, and that's all we have to go on. As again, Games Workshop never made a model for him. You may be noticing a theme of the Beastmen getting the shaft way back on the tabletop days as well. Everything about Moonclaw is written as so OP that it begs to be an unlockable
that's
hero
from
or in
Mordheim,
the
the City of the
DLC
Damned.
matchup, an opposing faction trying to stop his summoning. Moonclaw has lures of wild and
I have another conspiracy. What if Moonclaw was born in Mordheim? I mean, I'm just guessing that the Twin Tail Comet came from the moon Morsleep. I'm just guessing, okay? What if the Twin Tail Comet came from Morsleep and it crashed into the city of Mordheim? That city right there. And then all of a sudden, Moonclaw, appeared. Like, that could be true. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just guessing
two-headed mount
if
crackling with raw fire,
that
combined with
hit
a
the
high
city,
ward save,
then Moonclaw pops up.
magic resistance, and the ability to drive anyone around him insane. Also, he can call down a rain of warpstone meteors. But here's the rub. He'd also make a great legendary lord. He has a known objective of toppling waystones to bring about chaos in the end of the world, and he has a built-in ability called Unholy Zenith, which would make for an obvious campaign mechanic. See, Moonclaw gets his power from the moon Morsleb, and when it's completely full, he can summon...
I don't know how you pronounce Morsleb. Is it Morsleb? Morsleeb? Morslebe? Morsleb? Was it Morsleb? I don't know how to pronounce Morsleep. Let me know in the comments below of how to pronounce the green moon of the Beastmen.
Steed and radiate madness around him, gaining additional bonuses on the battlefield. But my personal feeling is that a moon mechanic would be too similar to the existing dark ritual mechanic, and frankly be too passive, requiring players to do nothing except wait around for 7 turns before you can do anything. And CA has really moved away from this, as active participation mechanics encourage you to keep playing, which is why I think we'll see Moonclaw as an Ariel or Lord Croak style magic super soaker that is summoned in mid-game. But if I'm going to be wrong, he's the one I want to be wrong on and see as a full lord. Based on the Wood Elves rework, we might expect another Beastman lord here to sweeten the pot. Goros Warhoof is a centaur lord from the Beastmen 7th edition army book, and of the remaining lords,
he's a Centigore.
He offers the most unique playstyle, focusing on speed and army movement while buffing centaurs, making his army into fast-moving, hard-hitting cavalry.
You know what that means? Centigore Doomstack!
Goros himself would be very fast-moving, with skills focusing on attacks and charge. His pseudonym is the Sire of 1,000 Young. Goros is a really big, old, horny horseman with entire herds made up of his litters, or whelps, or colts? I'm not actually sure what you call centaur children. But regardless, his mechanic could be based around this drunken debauchery. Goros' campaign is really all about the 3 R's: rutting, rooting, and raiding. Goros even carries around a giant magic club called Man Smasher, and wears the skull of a unicorn on his head, which gives him some magic resistance and also makes him an honorary brony and a pretty pony princess.
Pretty brony.
But no matter how interesting Goros may be as a lord, if the Beastmen's mechanics aren't fixed, it won't matter. So I'm proposing a new Beastmen mechanic based on established beast lore. See, early game, you're going to go around raiding villages to capture peasant women, and then carry them back to your camp. And there, you'll hold them against their will to Stockholm Syndrome them into joining you. But really, it needs a timer to make this mechanic work. And this can be visualized by a flower of some kind, nature themed. Let's call it a rose, and each turn, a petal would fall off, so that if you don't accomplish your final mission before the flower dies, your horde dies too. But maybe
you put Beauty and the Beast. That's funny. But yeah, that could be an idea. Like, you have to really hurry up and do your task, or else the flower dies.
Maybe that's copyrighted. Instead, let's talk about chosen goals.
I'm not sure if, I think it's copyrighted. If you take a bunch of captives, maybe you can do the same thing with Tehenowin. Like, you can use the humans either to join you or use as a sacrifice. Like, you sacrifice it to your gods or to Morsley.
Where a Beastman warrior has been marked by one of the Chaos gods as a powerful
Corn
champion,
gores.
making them...
Look at those guys. They're so corny.
It would work similar to the Norskin pledging system. After you raid a settlement, you can erect an altar to a god of your choosing or dedicate your victory to them, gaining their boons and buffs, culminating in a unique unit to unlock.
Hestigors.
Get a high enough rating with a god, and you'll have
Beastmen,
access to
gores
their
that
special
serve,
gores. You can see a
Urkel.
version of this in action with the Pantheon system from Total War Saga Troy. This
Yep.
would address
But instead of just the Greek gods, there's only 4 gods to choose.
incorporating buffs into the god effects. It's also a mechanic that would work for the Warriors of Chaos, who, if they don't get this exact
Zangors.
mechanic,
I like their armor. And also, if you guys remember my reaction to the Warhammer 3 trailer, Tzeentch is my favorite god. And also Khorne.
originally, I thought this divine favor mechanic would appear in Warhammer 3
Oh, look at
for
that, the
undivided Daemons of
Slangors.
Chaos, but since each
Are
god
those,
has their own
Age of
faction
Sigmar
now and
models?
are
I'm not
decidedly
sure if they are.
divided, the mechanic is no longer needed and, frankly, is better used here. But here's the thing,
Chaos
this mechanic
Undivided.
is low-hanging fruit, something that already exists in Steel Faith Overhaul and several existing mods for the game. Herdstones are what would really set CA's version apart. In the lore, all Beastmen tribes live around Herdstones, standing
Herdstones?
stones that are likely corrupted waystones. See, Herdstones are always erected in places of magical significance, usually over one of the Warpstone meteors that brought the Beastmen into being. Herdstones are sacred to the Beastmen, and all manner of captured weapons, armor, and bodies are left on them as offerings to earn the favor of the Dark Gods.
I think this is a Herdstone. That one right there in the trailer. And what Kazrak did was he collected a bunch of helmets, skulls from other creatures, and places them on top of them. Yeah, it's like a Beastman has their own shiny collection on the stone. Like, they have Imperial helmets, they have High Elf helmets, they have Bretonnian helmets, Greenskin skulls, other Beastman tribe skulls.
As a mechanic, Herdstones could only be built on certain specific important locations throughout the map, and if you manage to raise a location and then build a Herdstone, it would provide a safe haven of sorts to rest your tribe and refuel for your next push.
Yep,
and would help
true.
give a sense of destination and progress to these wandering horde campaigns. You can also possibly build altars to a specific god, giving constant flows of
Look at these
favor
little
to
huts.
them.
They're so
Again,
cool.
an idea seen on Total War Saga Troy.
Yep.
What makes Herdstones unique lore-wise is that when an enemy army comes within 100 leagues of a Herdstone, every warherd in the region descends on them in a frothing rage. They're also used to gather together the wandering warbands. Currently, new Bray herds use a version of the old Wa mechanic from the Greenskins.
Yeah.
Once you raise your bestial rage mechanic high enough, an AI-controlled army is spawned that then sods off to do whatever it pleases because it's an AI and it makes them useless. Instead, what if your Herdstones unlocked new armies? CA could make it so that you only have a single army until you erect a new Herdstone, making it similar to how Tomb King's technologies unlock new armies. Or maybe constructing a Herdstone grants you a new fully built army. It's possible CA could even summon a new AI-controlled army at that.
That reminds me of the right thing for the Lizardmen. Like, if you do that right, an army will be summoned with strong dinosaurs, and a legendary lord leads them. But instead, if it's for the Beastmen,
Location to keep and hold the Herdstone and help keep out
I know it's gonna be
unwanted
like
settlers,
something.
like the Nakai the Wanderer campaign.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways the Herdstone mechanic could be flavored, which would change them from being just another slobbering horde. But now let's talk about new units.
Yes,
CA
I'm ready for
normally
this.
averages 4 or 5 units per
I'm
DLC,
excited
of which
for the
only
new
1 or
units
2
that
will be
might be
big
added.
new showcase units that require new models and animations. A new generic lord is a must.
Yeah.
Beastmen can
Yeah, the only lords they have is just that guy. The guy with 6 holes in his helmet, 2 big horns, 2 big axes. That's all you get. Let me get a new lord, please. I just want to smash things.
one general type, the Beast Lord. So a Great Bray Shaman is a shoo-in, as it makes it so a Caster Lord is available in the general options, as he's so important to the updated roster.
can also do a
I would
Shaman
expect
Doomstack
Great
if
Bray
you have a Bray
Shamans to be
Shaman.
released as a free LC through Total War Access.
Yeah.
Normally, when CA releases a DLC Lord, they include a depowered version for other factions to recruit.
Yep.
In this case, called a Doom Bull, an
The
upgraded
Doom
Gore
Bull.
Bull with accompanying bonuses to Minotaurs. Think of him as generic Taurox. War Gores Gores would be
Yes,
a
the
new
War
melee
Gores.
duelist. War Gores were originally a hero unit on the tabletop, and it
Yeah.
makes sense for them to continue here as an elite infantry unit that encourages the troops around them and has decent armor. They're not very flashy as units go, but they serve a utilitarian purpose and would be very easy to implement. Tusk Gore Chariots. Cheap,
Yes.
very fast chariots meant to be a step below the existing Razor Gore chariots.
Yep.
Much like the Glade Riders with spears in the Twisted and Twilight DLC, they would help to round out the Beastmen's early game, which can be very problematic, providing a cheap early game chariot for fast flanking units.
My favorite thing about it is, look at him. There's a Beast Lord holding a Drookie head. Poor guy.
Chariot for fast flanking units. Gore Hoofs.
Oh,
Armored
look at
Centaurs. Originally a
these.
leader promotion in the 6th edition
Wow.
army book, one Centaur could be named a Gore Hoof.
I think that will be perfect for who again? Oh, wait. Goros. That will be perfect for Goros. Send in these big Centaurs and then have some fun with them.
They would be an entirely new unit of armored cavalry. Generally, people want the Beastmen to move faster and hit harder. They want the Bray Herd.
Just
And
like
this
the
gives it-
Huns.
By the end of the game, Beastmen struggle to keep up with other factions except for a few tanky monster units. Gorehoofs would be bigger and meaner and
Gorehoofs,
also
Centaurs,
synergize
and
well with a
Goros
Goros Warhoof
charging into battle and
FLC lore.
smashing everyone.
Gorgons. Huge
Gorgons!
monsters similar to giants,
That's what
except
I
they're faster
want!
and harder hitting. The trade-off is that they also have
Wow.
lower health and armor. It would be interesting to see them
Look
in an
at this
anti-cavalry
guy.
or anti-large role, speeding around,
What is he
counteracting
holding? Is it a
cavalry
statue
charges
of
and using them to
Sigmar
prevent
of a priest
flanking.
holding the
For an example of how
Comet?
awesome they are, you can actually see one in Chaos Roby's existing mod.
Yeah.
And finally, Jabberslice.
Yes.
Just to shut everyone
Look at
up
this
about
guy.
it. Realistically, the Beastmen don't have many missing units, and the Jabberslice was such an iconic part of their tabletop roster for a reason. It's a monster that flies and has regen.
It's also in
attacks
Chaos
with
Bane.
terror and
They should be
poison.
added
Think
to
of it
Total
like
War
the
Warhammer.
Vargulf for the vampire counts, which I suspect this model will be based on if it does make it into the game. Again, they're so popular, there's even a mod of them.
Yeah.
When it comes to Gorgons and Jabberslice, we may turn out this is a pick one scenario. The fact remains, Beastmen are not popular. But I don't see CA ending Warhammer 2 on a whimper.
Whimpers? Aren't you forgetting the dwarves and the vampire counts? Maybe they'll do it in game 3.
If the Beastmen get a 5th unit, it will be one of these next few here. Basilisks. Very easy
What?
to implement as it's a reskinned
I don't know
salamander from the
these.
Lizardmen.
Whoa.
But more than a bit, Basilisks
So
originally
cool.
appeared in the Monstrous Arcanum Addendum book for Warhammer tabletop battles,
Look
and
at
were
that
never a
guy.
core unit for the Beastmen. They were very much added later. They also have poisoned attacks and were generally used against infantry, and if you want to try one, it's also available as a mod. I know I
Whoa.
sound like a broken record when I say that, but it bears in mind as to whether CA will make it themselves. They don't want to come across like they've stolen someone else's work, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it shows them that there's a demand for these units.
Yeah.
Chimeras and
Whoa.
cockatrices.
Speaking of chimeras, I remembered, and I was like watching, Warhammer models. I remember Archaon the Ever-Chosen riding a chimera. Maybe if the chimeras added, then they have to, change up a bit the Warriors of Chaos. Like, if there's another Chaos DLC, then Archaon would just ride a chimera. I don't know if the model is fantasy or Age of Sigmar. I'm not sure.
And their role
But
is
chimeras
already
are
largely
cool.
filled by the feral Manicore, being large flying monsters that navigate the battlefield.
Whoa.
Also, they're Age of Sigmar units, which
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily rule them out, as I previously said I want to see the Chosen Gores, but it doesn't help their case either. Incarnate of Beasts and Praetons, both of which look
Incarnate
super
Beasts?
grimdark and hail from the Monstrous
Whoa.
Arcanum.
I
With
want
so many
these. I
core
want
units
those.
still missing from the Beastmen roster,
And Praetons.
there's little need to
Just add everyone if you want CA. Because all these models are so cool. But CA has to pick which one is the best. So, the Gorgons, the Chimera is all just, it's Age of Sigmar. Arcane won't have a new mount. The Praetons and the one before the Praeton. This guy. That's on number 4. Wait, is it? Oh, that's number 3. Yeah, also the Basilisk is number 4. These 4 I would like to see in the DLC. But if they're not added, but some that I chose that are gonna be added, that's okay. I won't be mad. I just want to crush I just want to play. I just want to play. I just want to play Total Warhammer 2 and have some fun. And also make more videos, because I know you guys like them.
While both would be welcome additions, I feel like they're long shots compared to the Jabberslythe and the Gorgon. If they make it in, it will be an addition to these others as opposed to replacing them. And that's what I would expect from a new Beastmen DLC.
Yeah.
There is a hitch in all of this. CA previously gave something additional to original buyers of the old Wood Elf DLC to keep them happy and to frankly encourage new people to go buy the old packs. And Goros isn't really likely to make people want to go back and buy old DLC, but somebody else would. Boris Todbringer.
Yup!
You overwhelmingly want to see
the guy with the one-eye patch, who is full of hatred against Beastmen, for he has dreamed of being famous. I want Boris Todbringer to be added. If Boris Todbringer is added, that means 5 new legendary lords for the Empire
as the Free Lord. The biggest argument I've seen against bringing him in this way is that Boris would need his very own Middenland DLC to properly get in all the necessary units. For unique units, Boris requires Priests of Ulrich, Knights of the White Wolf, Knights Panther, Teutogen Guard, Warriors of Ulrich, Hunting Hounds, and Wolfkin. Teutogen Guard are Empire captains with wolf cloaks.
It's like these guys are like the White Lions, but they have hammers,
beards, and two-handed hammers. All those things are already in the game. Knights of the White Wolf are the same guys, but they put them on horses. Knights Panther are Empire Knights with a panther cape.
And
what I'm trying to say is that all of Boris's units can be made from tweaking existing Empire units, and modders have already done exactly that. While it's technically enough to make a DLC from, it doesn't feel flashy enough to sell. If CA put a bit extra into his campaign-exclusive units, like they did with Dryka's campaign, it would do the exact same thing. Not like Boris can be offered as a free LC unit for a future DLC. He already came in with the original Beastmen. They blew their load. Giving all this to Boris.
Look at the beast. He's so happy that he gets an eye. Ah, my eye! You took my eye!
DLC seem a hell of a lot more attractive to people in the future. For mechanics, an idea from Double M Double Fun would have Toddy's campaign work like Eltharion's, a countdown timer building up the defenses of Middenland, with many invasions of Beastmen along the way to keep it spicy. You'd need to sally out and fight Beastmen invasions as they spawned to keep from being overwhelmed before a final invasion of chaos. He would get a unique siege map of Middenheim, which would feature Ulrich's
Ulrich's what?
Thunder.
Ulrich's Thunder? Look at that cannon! It's so big! It's so big! Look at it! It's like you think, yeah, the steam tank is the best! And then you see this! Mind blown! Look at this thing! It's so big! Is that a giant? Is he like putting things in it? Wow! This cannon, that's a must! That is a must. Please, I will make a video if that is added to the FLC.
Giant cannon defending the city that feels like a super tower defending your walls and would shoot anyone coming nearby. And again, that and all of its functionality are already in a mod for the game called GCCM. There's even a blank spot on the east side of the Empire that begs to have a playable legendary lord stuck in it. Boris is so different from Goros that there's a case for both of them being made free and available. One for Warhammer 2 owners, and the other for owners of the original Warhammer 1 Beastmen DLC.
That's what I had, guys, and I'm gonna get it. My first video will be the Beastmen, then maybe I'll play as Boris Todbringer. I don't know, I have to think of who to play first before I start making a video.
I can hear you.
But since I like the Beastmen, I'll play as Taurox.
And you're right, this would be something new. But wouldn't it be cool? You know, I mean, wouldn't it be like, yeah, they do listen. But what do you think? Is this all pie in the sky? Or could you see this happening? That's the fun of speculation, and I can't wait to see what the actual final Warhammer 2 DLC really holds. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to be notified when or like it release, or even join our Patreon to help make them possible. After all, this one was sponsored by viewers just like you. As always.
But that's all for today, guys. I accidentally clicked something I didn't want to happen. But But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video of me reacting to Cody Bon's speculation video of the Master and the Monster DLC speculation of the Beastmen. If you want to continue making more videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what we to do next. And also, shout out to Mr. Beast again, and don't forget to subscribe to Cody Bonds. Shout out to him as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Sound the horns! The endless hunt begins at me!